I view this as just like a textbook example of treating like physical systems as political weapons themselves, and they are quite literally weaponizing the country's energy grid, like against them, right? And so when we talk about building sustainable energy infrastructure here at home, and especially down in South Florida, like how do you actually communicate to the voters down in South Florida that this is actually about taking economic leverage away from the top?
Yeah, I think when we see, and there's a historical memory here as well, with Halliburton and Dick Cheney and those kind of corporate impulses to drag us into war with Iraq. We're seeing it with the abduction of Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela, and that was ostensibly to give big oil and fossil fuel interests control over the Venezuelan oil economy. And of course, Venezuela cuts off then with Delcy Rodriguez kind of bowing to the pressure of the United States. Venezuela cuts off its shipments to Cuba. We even saw the pressure applied on Mexico from sending oil to Cuba, but that oil now goes to Israel and it goes towards the United States allies and our ever diminishing circle of allies with the way that we're behaving completely recklessly and illegally on the international stage. And we were watching with great interest the relief trip that so many Americans took to Cuba, and literally the rationing of oil and fossil fuel to have just the most critical components of the Cuban economy still function. I mean, people were dying on ventilators because there was not energy to keep the hospitals running. And the United States, you'll hear, and it's very frequent. What Donald Trump is even now saying, Cuba's next, and we know that Marco Rubio and the war hawks in his cabinet, they've always seen regime change in Cuba as one of the ultimate goals of
Yeah, like
United
the white
States
whale.
foreign policy.